Hello guys, welcome to another cheating story. We've got some really exciting cheating story. Watch until the end, you'll be shocked as the last bit will blow your mind. I'm in 2 therapy sessions a week and on Lexapro. I'm about 6 months out of finding out. I've successfully divorced her without losing anything. I've blocked her and I'm generally happy most of the time. I'm here to tell you it does get better. I consider myself lucky now because my life with her would have been absolute hell. But today I broke down as I do most days. I cried my eyes out. I don't miss her so much as I miss having a life to share with someone. I own a business and a dog. I have several friends and family that check in on me daily. I have several blessings in life that I don't want to take advantage of. But all of it feels pointless. Now I started this business for her. I wanted to share my life with her, have kids, have a white picket fence and a home, build a treehouse in the backyard. I wanted all of that. That was my lifelong dream. I realized now she didn't deserve it. Therapy has made me realize I was spending too much time taking care of her when she didn't care of me at all. She cheated on me with a coworker. She did so because I was busy building our future and she didn't feel I was invested in the relationship as much as I once was. This was not true when she told me. It completely floored me. We had a classic, beautiful relationship in my mind. She had been cheated on before and so have I, so I didn't think either of us would do that to each other. I guess I was wrong. I'm not at the point where I want to be. Unfortunately, I want to be in love again. I don't know if it really exists anymore. But above all, I don't want to waste my time on someone who doesn't deserve me ever again. I don't want to date someone for months and find out they aren't as committed to me as I am to them ever again. I am terrified of heartbreak and I know most of us are here, but I'm not one to face my fears. I will try and try again. I will get up over and over again. I will not give up and I encourage you to do the same. Nothing worth having is ever free. So take your time. Don't hide behind the wall you put up because someone hurt you. At that point, they've won. I'm sorry if this is all rambling. I really just needed a place to dump my thoughts and hopefully encourage others to do the same. Love you. Even if I don't know you. The community responds first from the Reddit Avenger. I quit my dream career of which I made no money to pursue a career that would pay so I could marry the woman I loved at the time, proposed and then caught her cheating. 3 months later I got a job in the new career which paid more money than I had ever had in my life. Enough that I would have been able to pay for an apartment for us to start our life. But I had ghosted her for cheating. So I got this job at a place I had been temping at and they hired me at the end of the week. It should have been a triumphant moment for me and I cried on the way home. The job was for us and she was gone. True. I ghosted, but she was the one who left me. So I get it for a long time. I felt like you do. It was about another year before. The whole thing wasn't a bitter taste. Here's the thing, about 2 years after that day in a car. I met my wife at that job. She had worked in a different building. So until she moved, I didn't even know she existed. I am pushing on my 2nd decade with her now. She just got up from sitting next to me watching the baseball game and critiquing the sideline report's outfit to go to bed every once in a while we make pasta or cupcakes together. Last weekend we watched The Thin Man and the next day football. I did so well. I also have had a very financially rewarding career. The day in the car. I would never had believed I would be here. I couldn't see it. All I knew was I lost my chance. It was okay that I couldn't see it. The thing is, it doesn't matter if I could see it or not. It happened anyway. Have hope, man. Because there is hope. This is life. It's bittersweet. It's melancholy much of the time. It's ordinary and boring. But it's also filled with the highest of highs and even the lowest of lows. That's living. Embrace that. The most important thing to remember is that every day you get a chance. Maybe her girl hasn't switched offices yet, but she might tomorrow. We have another thought from DeQueen 1011. No rush. I often have days where I think, man, if this doesn't work out, I'm not doing this again. I wonder now, what is the point of a wedding, of marriage? A piece of paper and ceremony where you dedicate yourselves to each other and promise to be faithful and always there. I think it's normal to more in a life that once was OP. You're right to encourage people to take their time through something like this. And it is important not to hide and to not let the cheaters win by breaking you. Of course it's hard to be vulnerable and trust again. But I think that's really the beauty of love, how fragile and terrifying it is. We give our all to people and we hope that they do the same in return. But with that in mind, it's important that we don't lose ourselves in our individuality in the process. What do you think up next? An unfaithful husband who wets his whistle elsewhere. Husband had a long-term affair. and I'm devastated. Background: married almost 18 years, together for 21 years, 3 kids. 13, 12, 10. Discovered a week ago that my husband had been having a physical, maybe emotional affair with a coworker for the last 5 years. I was totally blindsided. I went ballistic upon finding texts between the two of them and kicked him out of the house. I have now calmed down enough that I am beginning to accept that it has happened and asked questions. He pleaded his case, which included admission that he went outside of our marriage for sex since it had been 10 plus years since we were intimate. We're more like roommates than a married couple, short pet kisses and hugs. We were best friends though, and I believe really enjoyed each other's company. Our sexless marriage fell on both of us. I had 3 kids in 3 years. I was exhausted and probably depressed. So not interested in sex. He tried for a while to initiate, but stopped after being rejected so many times. He has begged for reconciliation, agreeing to marriage counseling and anything he can do to not lose me. He was specific that it is me he doesn't want to lose. Not just the kids, our life we have deep down. I always knew the lack of intimacy would cause problems. I guess. I just never thought it would cause this. The affair partner was a woman from work that he says came onto him. He liked the way she made him feel wanted and attractive. The relationship started through sexting, which led to romantic rendezvous, which led to sex. He says that it was not regular as she is married to, and finding time to be together was difficult. He estimates they met for sex every other month, sometimes going as long as 6 months before seeing each other, depending on their busy married lives. They did, however, text nearly every day. He immediately ended the affair upon me finding out. He sent me proof and, upon my request, told her husband they were having an affair. When asked why he kept it going, he told me that after their first sex session, she threatened to tell me everything if he did not keep her happy. So he kept up the affair to delay me finding out. I do know that he was feeling guilty and ashamed as he became an alcoholic in the last 5 years, binge drinking every weekend, which was totally unlike him before. I just do not know where to go from here. I do really love him, but there are so many feelings of betrayal. Not only is the last 5 years a lie, he brought this woman into our home on 2 occasions by his report. He promises not our bed, but our bonus room couch. Sex was in both of our vehicles, and he shared things about our life with her, where we were going on vacation, how the kids were doing in school, arguments he and I had. He says that he was very firm with her, that he would not leave me. He has admitted to telling her he loved her. I'm just so devastated that I feel numb. I so want to believe this was just one hell-a-long mistake caused by our lack of intimacy, that he truly is remorseful and wouldn't have strayed if he was getting his needs met at home. I admit there's culpability on my part, yet I also can't get images of them out of my head, and the fact that it went on so long exacerbates the wound. I'm seeking counseling as well as psychiatric care for my depression and anxiety. He is already on meds for depression and alcohol detox. He also has a therapist he started seeing this week. I'm trying to take one day at a time, but my kids miss their dad terribly, and to tell you the truth. So do I? Any advice to help me begin to heal? Update? Thank you to everyone who has responded, given support, and even those who have criticized my role in all of this. To answer some of the questions posed on a few occasions over the years. I went to him about the lack of intimacy. He assured me that he understood that I was attracted to him but was busy needing help, taking care of the house, the kids, and all that goes into raising a family. He never took anything off my plate to put him on it. Of course, he was already screwing this chick. He never came to me once and voiced his needs. To my reasons for not having sex with him were multifaceted. My self-esteem about my body was horrible. After 3 children in 3 years, I had gained about 50 pounds, therefore I turned him down, which turned into a vicious cycle of him not expressing desire, that I internalizes him not being attracted to me. In addition, I asked him to get a vasectomy so that we could not get pregnant again. I'm fertile Myrtle apparently, which he agreed to, but never did. I dug my heels into the ground since my body had the trauma from childbirth. He has never worn condoms because he doesn't like the way that they feel. So I knew that was out. We got pregnant with my second using the diaphragm. So that was not an option either. I was scared to death of getting pregnant again, but felt it was his responsibility to make sure that didn't happen. Since I had handled giving him 3 children, 3 as a fair partner no longer works with him. She moved with her family about an hour away. So per him, the physical contacts had decreased immensely the past year. Update 2. Thank you again for all the comments, and I have read every one of them. There seems to be a consensus that a dead bedroom makes it excusable to seek sex outside of the marriage. I'm aware of that, own it, and have already apologized to him for it. I believe the betrayal occurred when he brought her into our home, our cars, and told her he loved her. That is the most difficult part for me. If it was just sex, I could understand now. Time for the community responses. Margarine 22 says, usually I'm 100% disgusted with these stories. This one just makes me feel bad for everybody involved. 10 years in a dead bedroom would test and break nearly anyone. However, him saying she threatened to blab is the biggest reason he kept going to her, that my friend is doubling down on a lie. He already has, in my opinion, somewhat of a case, although he should have just divorced you. But he is lying and making it seem like he was at least partially an unwilling partner. He was not. He was going to her for intercourse somewhat regularly. His reason is because it had been since the Obama administration since you two were intimate. That is a comeback which, in my opinion, should lead to a sliver of hope for the marriage if it is what you both want, with a ton of therapy. Instead, he makes it like he has a hostage to her evil wishes. Sorry. No guy lies. Even when telling the truth is the better option. Taiwan Bandit adds, you don't mention if you had conversations with him regarding your sexless marriage. This should have been addressed by counseling years ago, but doesn't excuse his recent behavior. The fact that he told the other betrayed spouse with you on the call is a good sign. I think you can save this marriage, but you both need a lot of counseling, and he needs to go overboard with remorse to make it work. Good luck. Typical Agency 8984 adds in, you both need counseling. He shouldn't have cheated, but you went 10 years without sex. You both should have addressed your issues a long time ago. As far as reconciliation, if he's serious, he needs to look for another job. You also need to tell affair partner's husband, he has the right to know. Start taking time for yourselves. Go on dates and start connecting again emotionally and intimately, comrade. Nook says, my advice would be a trial separation. You're broken up, date whomever, but also date each other. You weren't intimate for 10 years. The marriage was over after year 2. Honestly, I don't know why you would want to be married to someone you didn't want to be with unless either of you are asexual. You sound relatively young, probably just entering middle age, and as much as this sucks, my parents after divorcing found more compatible people. Take the kids out of the equation. Kids need happy parents more than they need parents who are together. You need individual counseling and couples counseling. You've got a long road ahead. Best of luck. Edit, to be clear, I'm on your side. The cheating wasn't excusable. I'm a mature person would say, hey, I need physical intimacy. This isn't working. If we can't fix it, we need to reevaluate the relationship. I don't know why you'd want to stay with him. If you don't want to screw him for decades at a time, you deserve a more compatible partner, and a partner who will actually talk about problems. Quirky Macaroon has this question: what was her husband's reaction? The OP replies, funnily enough, he did not act surprised. He wanted proof. So my husband sent him text exchanges. Her husband then said he had to get off the phone for a work meeting. Maybe that's true, or maybe he was about to blow a gasket and needed to get off the phone. It was a 3-way call. So I heard everything I needed to hear him confess and rat out the affair partner. Not fair for her to wreck my family and keep hers. Honestly, Opie, it went past just cheating, and he was having a full-blown relationship with this woman. It wasn't just a one-time thing. He said he loved her. That's a totally different level. It's not just sex, it's not just passion, it's love. He knows he effed up, which is why he's so guilty. If he was afraid of losing you and the kids, he should have worked on marriage counseling early on, not years after screwing this woman and you finding out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Lastly, cheaters know exactly what they're doing. Don't give them the benefit of the doubt. Cheaters shouldn't be given a pass for feeling guilty. They need to feel guilty. People cheat because there are underlying issues in the relationship. People cheat because their partner was unable to provide something that they wanted. No, you're wrong. The phrases you've said were exceedingly manipulative. You are trying to victimize the cheater. People cheat because they are the issues. People cheat because they are horrible human beings who are inconsiderate of others' feelings. They know exactly what they are doing. They have no respect for their partner, and they clearly know that their actions will hurt their partner. They chose to proceed with their actions. If you are unsatisfied with your partner for whatever reason, it is your responsibility to inform your partner. If your partner is unable to provide what you need, then break off the relationship. There is no need to cheat because your inconsiderate actions will permanently destroy the self-esteem of a human being. Cheating isn't a physical bruise, it's a mental bruise. A physical bruise will heal within weeks, months, or years. a mental bruise will stay with the victim for the rest of their lives. The victim will feel insecure, the victim will feel like they are not good enough. This will affect how they carry themselves and all the relationships around them. Stop telling victims to go seek therapy to better themselves. Start telling the perpetrators to be better human beings and use effective communication. If they want to involve their lives with another person, it is a commitment, it is a contract, it is a basic moral of humanity. Start teaching them to be better people. Start telling them how terrible they are for what they have done. Start telling them to own up to their actions and apologize. Should they have to live with the guilt for the rest of their lives? Yes, they should. If they can hurt someone for the rest of their lives, they need to live with the guilt. Stop protecting them. Our first reaction from the community round Brush 4828 has this to say: never have I come across a cheater who wasn't selfish. Workplace friend relative. All of them were incredibly selfish. Also, they tried to play the victim, or it was a moment of weakness. Nonsense. All of it was a way to get a rush out of hurting their partners. OC Cult chimes in: you're absolutely right, but I want to make one comment about the cheater's guilt. In 99.9% of cases, it's completely absent. In fact, the cheaters get what they wanted: unforgettable sexual pleasures with the women or men of their lives while staying in stable comfort zones created by their victims who sincerely and selflessly take care of betrayers. Cheaters screw or sex exchange nude pics behind the backs of committed partners and at the same time scold, slander and throw dirt on them in front of lovers, mocking their appearance, habits and genitals. They share with their lovers the most intimate and secret details of their relationship with the victims without feeling the slightest remorse. And suddenly after D-Day they feel guilty. Nope, never. If after revealing the affairs, cheaters demonstrate guilt, then this is another lie and hypocrisy in the name of achieving their selfish goals to stay in a relationship in the families with those who feed them, serve them and provide a stable, decent existence. The remaining 0.01% of cheaters can really feel sincere regret and remorse and even pain from their vile deeds, but not immediately, only when they truly realize what destruction they have caused to the relationships, marriages, families and to their partners. Therefore, a truly repentant cheater is an exception to the rule. He or she is as rare as a black sheep. Communication is key. If there's ever any issues in a relationship, it's up to the two within that relationship to bring it up and deal with it. If you don't feel safe or comfortable speaking to your partner, perhaps you're not in the right relationship. And I think the hurt from infidelity is something that always exists. It definitely leaves a scar. It shapes how people look at the world and how they look at themselves. I think the issue is that some cheaters literally don't care. It's hard to tell someone how terrible and crappy they are when they literally couldn't care less. They just like to rip the wings off of butterflies. What do you think?